changed our lives.
Last week, we considered the call to be good Samaritans to those who are suffering. Today, I'd like to speak directly to those of you who are elderly, sick, or disabled. You're no doubt very aware of your vulnerability and your need to rely on others. But there is no shame in being dependent on other people. Your need can become a moment of grace for them. You have a gift to offer. You call forth from your family and friends, as well as from health professionals and even those you might not know personally, what is best in humanity. St. John Paul II once spoke to the elderly about being dependent on others. First, he encouraged them to be alert and grateful for all the loving thoughts, words, and deeds they receive each day, while also forgiving those who, through negligence or carelessness, add to their neediness or their suffering. In this context, he invoked the words of Jesus on the cross. "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." Then he told the gathering of elders that meeting Christ in them is the reward they give to those for whom they dislike being a burden. You are the occasion for them to meet the Lord, the opportunity to outgrow themselves, he said. And by turning to them, you let them share in the fruits of life which God allowed to mature in you. John Paul continued, "Therefore, do not bury your requests in a timid, disappointed, or reproachful heart, but express them in all naturalness, being convinced of your own dignity and the good in the hearts of others. And be happy over each opportunity to practice that royal word of thank you, which rises from all altars and which is going to fill our eternal beatitude." Cicely Saunders, foundress of the modern hospice movement, once wrote that we need the dying person as much and more than he needs us. A contemporary writer's reflection on this thought struck me. She was writing about the dying, but I think her words can apply equally to all the elderly and disabled. Through the vulnerability and dependence of the dying person, we are reminded that life is openness toward each other, and we can discover in this openness a call to reach beyond ourselves to those around us and ultimately to God Himself. We discover in the weakness and vulnerability of the very ill and the dying the authentic revelation of life reduced to its essentials, the relationship of love given and received. As we celebrate the Paschal Triduum, we will be commemorating the gift of love given by Jesus Christ in the Eucharist on Holy Thursday, and then in his ultimate sacrifice on the cross on Good Friday. During the Last Supper, Jesus could have rightly expected his disciples to serve him as he prepared for the terrible events about to take place. But it was he who bent down to wash their feet and who shared with them the intimate sentiments of his heart as a last testament. Then on Good Friday, as he hung on the cross, struggling to breathe, he gave his mother to the beloved disciple and to us. To his very last breath, Jesus never stopped giving. Think about his example and believe that even in great weakness, you have something to give to those around you. Don't be afraid to share with others the riches of your heart and your life experience as your greatest and perhaps final gift to them. Together with the little sisters, I wish you a very blessed Holy Week and a happy Easter Sunday. We'll have the final video in our series next week in preparation for Divine Mercy Sunday.